Alrighty. What's up, everybody? It is I, your Tribal God of Extreme, Peter Joseph here, for a Friday night video. And it's Friday night. You know what that means. We got SmackDown coming your way in at the top of the hour. Should be a great show. The first show of 2026. And the return of our 3-hour show. So we got 3 hours of SmackDown for that ass. And we'll see what happens tonight. Got some good stuff. A couple good matches. Not great matches, but we'll see what happens with that. Jordan Gray's Big Mama Pump is backstage. If they're going to use her, I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. I'd love to see her, but we'll see. So it should be a great show tonight for the first of the year. First SmackDown of the 2026. Well, we can't say era, but 2026. As we're rolling along, we got Bash in Berlin next Friday, so we got some stuff with Cody, MD Cody, you bitch, and Papucho, Drew McIntyre. We got an ambulance match between Bobby Priest and Aleister Black. See how that goes. We all know who the master of the ambulance match is. Mr. Mike Awesome. That's right, I kick ass in those matches. I know, Mike, you're awesome in those matches. Well, I know, can you blame me? No. Don't make fun, Gilmore. Joseph, sorry. But I'm awesome. Okay, I know. We know you're awesome, Mike. Thank you. He'll tell you how many ambulance matches he's won. But I digress on that. So that should be some good stuff tonight on SmackDown, or as we call it, Welp Down. Because Welp, yeah, pretty much it. Alright, so thank you for watching right here on the main channel, Kill Demon 669, on your Friday night, January the 2nd, 2026. Hope you had a great day, and if not, well, too bad for you. But thanks for watching. Make sure you like the video, hit the subscribe button down in my pants, otherwise on the description box below. Share the video all over the internet. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can leave a comment on this video or any one of my videos on my respective channels. But, as always, do not leave stupid comments because you get blocked, hidden, and pretty much sent to the Shadow Realm where you will be destroyed by Satan and Ozzy and his minions. And you'll never be heard from again. And that's pretty much it. But thanks for the free view anyway, assholes. And that's pretty much it. Share the video all over the internet, like I said before. And don't forget to tap and slap that bell to turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one. Because if you do, you get slapped in the face a bunch of times until you finally do. And we move on. And your SOL. You better know what that means by now. Okay. That's that. And for newbies out there, if you're here for the first time and you're thinking about subscribing, please do. And when you do, as we say in the business, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, grab yourself a nice, tasty, cold one, and enjoy the show. You like it? Great. You don't? Well, fuck you, man. That's pretty much it. Alright, before we get to SmackDown, ladies and gentlemen, not going to get into a big old fancy intro. Lo siento. Lo siento for you people that love to clip my intros. Not happening now. Pretty much I'm going to start shortening my intros. So, but keep watching, because that's all you can do. Moving on. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, on this Friday night, January the 2nd, 2026, before we get to SmackDown for 3 freaking hours, I hope you bought the booze. Some of you. You know, I bought some coffee, you know, because I got to get through this fucking 3-hour show. You know, gotta have that oomph, the coffee. Well, you can have some booze too, but I don't have any booze in this particular thing. And I don't have booze at all in my house, so. But we have that. But should be a great show. But it's going to be a long one, so might want to throw on a fresh pot of coffee. Would it be Sanko? Would it be Maxwell House? Or Prince Nana's coffee? Big ups to my good buddy, Prince Nana. of the embassy. My good friend. We in the money, we in the money. Do. Now you can clip. And that's how pretty much it. But now, we're done. Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, on video number 2, check out my video on my Peter Joseph channel talking about the possibility of WWE being sold to Saudi Arabia and the blood prince of Saudi Arabia for possibly $15 to $20 billion. But it's a rumor. Not take it with a grain of salt. And Jonathan Coachman and his sources have been talking about that on his podcast. And it's been discussed backstage, so we don't know if it's actually true or not. So we got that. So we got 2 more years of the Saudi Arabia deal that was first made in 2018. We got this year, next year, and I think 2028 as well. And then we'll see if they partner back up or bye-bye to them. But we'll see what happens with that. Alright. So we got that. Check it out. Link down below in the gobbledygook. But right now, anything I'm talking about right now is happening right now. What happened to then? You motherfucker, you lost, and you missed it. So go fuck yourself. That's that. But right now, it is time for your late and kind of out of date 2026 edition of your official TNA Impact Wrestling and Ring of Honor reviews for the 1st of January last night. January 1st, 2026. Alright, let's quickly get into these little shit big shows. And as always, we started with the better show. And the final 2 episodes of Impact Wrestling on Access TV before the big debut on AMC in 13 days. That's January 15th for you people that can't add. And that's that. Alright, so we're going to start with TNA Impact Wrestling, as always. Big show. And once again, we're emanating from the El Paso County Coliseum in El Paso, Texas, right on my good buddy Eddie Guerrero ese, pero how you doing, Eddie? Oh, Mr. Joseph, I'm doing great, ese. Did you have a great day? I heard your mamacita was a little bit sicko, ese. Is she doing good? She's doing great. She's doing good, a little bit weak, but she's doing good. Oh, you got to take care of the mamacita, you gotta do your manly thing, like I have to do to China sometimes when she gets on the leg. I mean, what are you talking about, Eddie? I don't know, I had too much sangria today. Oh, probably that's why. But yeah, I'm taking care of the missus. I made her some soup this afternoon. She had a nice bowl of soup. Now she's resting up a little bit. But she's gonna be getting up pretty soon, so to watch SmackDown with me, so gotta get this done quick before, I have to hear, gotta hear her yelling and screaming and everything, but that's that. Alright, so we're from El Paso, Texas, Eddie's hometown. Let's get into it. As always, our commentary team, Tom Phillips and Matthew Waywall, otherwise known as Aiding English. And we got that. Alright, we are 2 weeks away from the AMC premiere. Should be a big, huge live show on AMC. I cannot wait for it. And I hope it does a humongous rating. Not that humongous, but, if it does over 1 million, that's big for TNA. But we'll see what happens with that. Alright. As always, my notes are not working. Alright, here we go. Alright, so we started with the opening recap. And from pretty much last week's, award show with that 10-man tag at the end and some classic matches, so we don't have to really get into that. And we move on. Alright, we start with the opening sequence. It's time to cross the line, with TNA. And we get to our first match of the evening. The lovely ladies, the Knockouts, start us off with some Knockouts tag team action. We have the former TNA Knockouts Tag Team Champions, the Elegance brand of M and Heather by Elegance, with the personal concierge, Mr. George the Iceman at ringside. They take on the Angel Warriors of the TNA Knockouts champion herself, Xia Li, and my girl, Xia Brookside. So the Xia, well, not the Xia twins, but Xia times 2, taking on the Elegance brand. Pretty decent match, under 6.5 minutes. Back and forth they went. Getting to the end of the match, and the Elegance brand was in control. Sends M's boot from the floor, gives Heather a near fall, but a double face plant for pretty much a triple down. And get the hot tag to the TNA Knockouts champion Xia Li, comes in and cleans house. And then Xia Brookside comes right back in. And another kick takes her down. And then my girl Dani Luna, who's got a title shot coming up at Genesis, I believe, for the Knockouts title. She runs in and sends Xia Li into the ring post. Ow! And then M holds up Xia Brookside for a missile drop kick from Heather. Nice little finisher there. 1, 2, 3, the Elegance brand get the win. And we get all that. And we'll see what happens with that, with Xia Li and Dani Luna going after the TNA Knockouts title, which could happen on the AMC premiere or at Genesis, which is the 24th of this month. So, got some pay-per-views coming up, ladies and gentlemen. The 23rd, I believe. The 23rd, I forget when that damn... When is, let me pull out the... Let me pull out the trusty phone. When is TNA Genesis? It was the 17th, okay. So it's a week before Saturday Night's main event. So we're 2 weeks away from the AMC premiere and the first pay-per-view of the year for one of the major promotions, and that's going to be Genesis on the 17th, and the week after that, got Saturday Night's main event. Week after that, we're going to the Land of Sand in Saudi Arabia. And then we got February to deal with Vengeance Day from NXT on February the 7th, I believe. And then 3 weeks later, we got the Elimination Chamber from whatever that is. And then, before you blink, it will be WrestleMania 42, once again in Vegas. And that's pretty much it. Alright, so the Elegance brand get the win over the Angel Warriors. And that's that. Alright, after that, we see Santino Marella. You son of a gun! Well, he's a little bit upset, depressed, after what his hot daughter, Ariana Grace, did in that cage match a couple weeks ago by pretty much turning on him, kicking him in the balls, and, leaving the cage with her husband, Mr. Stacks Mahomes. So we get that. So he's crushed after Ariana Grace, and gives a note to be read by Tom and Jerry. What? I didn't get that at all. I didn't get that. So I'm like, what is it? What? Alright, so we got that. So we go to break. We come back. Speaking of Stacks Mahomes, we find out that he and former Intercontinental Champion Steve Macklin are set for the AMC debut. So see if Steve Macklin can get the belt back from Stacks Mahomes. And we'll see what happens with that situation. Alright, we got that. Alright, match number 2 on Impact. We got the men. We go to the men. We got Mustafa Ali and Order 4. They come out. Hotch and Skylar of the Great Hands. Agent Zero and the lovely Tasha Steelz, the Puerto Rican princess. They all come out. So Mustafa Ali takes on the hometown man. We all know him as Cody Deaner, and he beats him in 3 minutes. Did I say 3 minutes? Somebody called Jamal and Umaga. What, the same person? I don't know. Somebody called 3-minute warning this was an outright garbage fest of a match. Order 4 offers a distraction, and Mustafa Ali hits the 450, 1, 2, 3, bing, bang, boom. Good night, the hometown man. And that's pretty much it. Match I gave 2.25 out of 5 stars. After the match, 4-on-1 beatdown. Pretty much a 4-on-1 beatdown. And then someone walks by the entrance with a guitar covering their face. You all know who that is, holding a guitar. And if you say Jeff Jarrett, I'm going to slap you. You know, he has a guitar. But anyway, so Ali thinks it's Elijah. Who wants to walk with Elijah? So he sends Order 4 after that person, only for the real Elijah to show up from behind and chase Mustafa Ali off. And then he even plays a little bit of the hometown man's theme song. Okay. This show is weird, but that's what you get from TNA sometimes. Alright, so we got that. So it looks like Elijah versus Mustafa Ali, probably on the AMC premiere or at Genesis. And we got that. Alright, then we go to the back. We have the Rascals. Well, not in their treehouse smoking weed, but they have the Rascals. Trey Miguel, Myron Reed, Desmond Xavier, and Zachary Wentz. They all talk to Santino Marella about getting an X Division title shot against Leon Slater. Santino says, well, you three guys can fight it out. Can fight it out for a title shot on the AMC premiere, and the winner of that gets added to the Genesis title match, which I don't even know. I forgot who's Leon facing at. I forgot who Leon's facing at Genesis. I don't even have the card, but we got that. So it's gonna be Zachary Wentz, Myron Reed, and Trey Miguel fighting in a triple threat match, and the winner Yeah, so the winner of this match faces Leon Slater, and the winner of that gets added to the Genesis title match, so we'll see what happens with that. So Leon wins, he's added already, so it makes no sense. But whatever, we'll go with that. Alright, so 2.5 out of 5 stars for that. Then we get a look at the Canadian National Champion, All Ego, Ethan Page, beating Moose to retain his title. Pretty chicanery, but so we got that. We move on. Then we have Ariana Grace once again and the NXT stars for a little chitty chat after kind of sort of they won in that cage match. Ariana talks about being tired of living in her dad's shadow, and she knows she had to change things when her dad didn't get her booked around TNA much. So now her husband, Stax Mahomes, is the only person who matters. So then Stax says that I got the girl now, and sometimes she even calls me daddy, I bet. I don't want to know, but okay, we'll go there. Rosa calls me daddy all the time. Daddy! You know. No, I gotta do like Tiffany Scott. Daddy! Why? You say something, Sunshine? Yeah. I can't wait for Tiffany Stratton to come back. Probably at the Rumble. Not going to win it, but maybe she might. I still think it's going to be Bianca Belair winning it. I would love for Tiffany to win it, though. We'll see what happens with that. Alright, so I gave that segment 2.25 out of 5 stars. Alright, back to the ring we go with some 6 women knockout action. We got Indy Hartwell, Jody Threat, and Jada Stone taking on the now recently engaged again Tessa Blanchard. She's married to another luchador, Esfinge, I think his name is. So yeah, goodbye to what's the last guy she was with? Diablo. Sayonara, sucker. You know, pretty much. So Tessa Blanchard teams with her bestie, Victoria Crawford, and Mila Moore in a 6-person knockout tag team match. Wasn't a great match, 9-minute match. But we get into the end. The villains get sent to the outside, and Jada Stone takes them out with a flippy dibbity-doo as we go to break. Come right back. Jada gets in trouble because, as always, in the break, the heels come back. So she's in trouble. Mila Moore comes in to grab a basic 1905 chinlock. Jada fights up, ducks a big boot, gets the hot tag to Indy Hartwell to pick up the pace, and then pretty much everybody's in the ring, and out of nowhere, the Magnum by Tessa Blanchard, bang, 1, 2, 3 in 9 minutes. She hits the Magnum on Jada Stone to get the win. Big bag, blah, blah, blah. So I gave that match 2.25 out of 5 stars, and that's that. Alright, they're going to recap of the Righteous. And that's That's Vincent and Dutch. Including almost kidnapping Matt Hardy a couple weeks ago. So we get that. And then we get the Righteous coming out to the ring. The fans would rather have Broken Matt Hardy, yes! Wonderful! Get it! Well, not gonna get Matt, because Vincent talks about how there are many voices. I hear voices in my head, they come to me, they counsel me, they do something. Was Randy Orton's coming? No. Randy. Anyway, so they talks about how they are many voices. He says, last week, meaning 2 weeks ago, Matt Hardy fell, but the Righteous were there to pick him up. Then you have Jeff Hardy, dude! Jeff Hardy, with Vincent being just a reflection of him. And then the Hardy Boys come out, the TNA Tag Team Champions. Matt says this sounds a bit cultish. And they're willing to defend the titles against the Righteous, but that's not what the Righteous really want. They want the Brotherhood, but the Hardys already have that covered. And some more threats are made. Then the Hardys are more concerned about the AMC era. And that's pretty much it. So we'll see what happens with them. Pretty much we also saw the Righteous kind of with candles around them. And, you know, had pictures of the Hardy family. Uh-oh, you're bringing family. Oh, boy. That's not good. But this segment was pretty good, and I gave it 3.25 out of 5 stars. Alright, then we get to the triple threat match between pretty much 3 out of the 4 members of the Rascals. So the winner of this faces Leon Slater, who was on commentary on the AMC premiere. So they show some respect. Sportsmanship! Code of honor, you'll love to see it. They trade roll-ups to start. And then some flippy-dippity-doos, but we're getting to the end. Zachary Wentz joins in, kicks Myron Reed down, and a neck breaker for a near fall. That doesn't sit well with Zachary Wentz, and we get a DDT blockbuster combo. That's impressive. To Trey Miguel, leaves everyone down, triple down. Get back up, Trey Miguel hits a big flippy-dippity-doo, but Zach Wentz is back in with the UFO cutter, not like the Giddy Kata bang, but close to it. And then Myron Reed hits the springboard 450, and we got a really quick, fast pin on Zachary Wentz in 6 minutes and 15 seconds. So we get that. So Myron Reed will face Leon Slater on the AMC premiere in 13 days. Should be a good match for the X Division title. And that's that. After the match, everything seems to be cool. Or is it? That's that. Alright, after that, we get the System. We have Eddie Edwards and Alicia Edwards. They come out with the ever so popular JDC. We all know him as Johnny Curtis, otherwise known as Fandango. And he's got his final match coming up at Genesis against Eddie Edwards. And also, I believe Moose was there. You know, because you can't have the System without Moose. Brian Myers as well. So they come out, and Eddie Edwards knows they're getting closer and closer to Genesis and The Last Dance. But Fandango has one more idea. He says next week, it's the System against Leon Slater, Cedric Alexander and the Hardy Boys. Should be a good match. So that works for everybody else in the system. Though, why did you come out to the ring to announce that? Okay, but we gotta give the people what they want, I guess. So we got that, and we'll see what happens with that. We move on. Alright, so I get that 2.5 out of 5 stars. Alright, then we have the Hardys all happy with the match as well. They're in the back. Then they find a shrine, like I mentioned before, with the righteous, having the pictures of the Hardy kids, and I think Rebby Hardy and maybe Senor Benjamin and maybe Vanguard 1 or 2, whatever the number's up to. But they have a shrine to the Hardys in a circle with candles around it. That's some voodoo type shit. So this feud is kind of crazy. You know, we get that. So, alright, so we got that 2.5 out of 5 stars for that. Let me move on. Then we get to your main event of Impact for the TNA World Heavyweight title. We have Frankie Kazarian taking on the winner of the Battle Royal 2 weeks ago, and that's Mophead Bear Bronson. You know, so it's also with Kaz running his mouth, talking like, how do you get a title shot? And then Bear Bronson beats the fuck out of him for a while. Go to break, Bear Bronson fights up, but gets struck back down. Kaz tries a sunset flip. I don't think that's going to work on a guy that's fat! But, anyway, Bear Bronson sits right down on his chest. Ow! Somebody get that man some Pepto-Bismol. Because he's got heartburn. Anyway. So, Bear Bronson comes back with some clotheslines, a running power slam for a near fall. A choke bomb gets countered into a DDT by Kaz for a near fall. Locks in the crossface chicken wing. That gets broken up with a bite to the hand. We got a biter! And then Bear Bronson says Kaz outside for a flippy dippity doo. Kaz then slams him on the ring steps. Ow. And Bear Bronson almost got counted out. Got in by 9.9999999995. Batman. And Bear Bronson gets a quick roll-up for a near fall. Then his back gives out, trying to do a basic power bomb. And then Kaz hits Fade to Black, nice Metallica reference. 1, 2, 3 to retain the TNA title in 13 minutes. Match was alright, 2.5 out of 5 stars. And then after the match, Mike Santana comes out from the crowd, congratulates Kaz on his big win. Or really, not so much on the win, but rather he says that their title match, which was supposed to be at Genesis, is now going to be on the AMC premiere on January the 15th. That's pretty damn big for TNA, having your World Championship match on the first show of the AMC era. Maybe we get a title change, maybe not. We'll see. So that kind of leaves Genesis without a world title match. So maybe they do the match and then they have a rematch at Genesis. Maybe some stipulations put in. I don't know. But we got that. But all in all, pretty decent edition of Impact. And I gave it 6.5 out of 10 stars. There you go. Alright, gotta fire up the Teddy. Guess we're gonna go to SmackDown coming up in about 10 minutes. So almost done with that. Alright, I gotta take a little sippy sip break. So, cheers you fuckers. Alright, we got that. Alright, so we move on with that. That's it. Alright, hopefully I can get my notes in. I might have to go back to my backup notes. Let's go to the backup notes. Why not? Unless my computer goes to the notes. Gotta take a little time. Gotta take a little time. Not so much and run it over. Yeah, I'm not gonna say. Yeah. I'm singing foreigner tunes now. Alright, so we got that. Alright, we go to Ring of Honor with their New Year's Day show. And once again, we are from the Hammerstein Ballroom, pretty much the Mecca, pretty much home base for, Ring of Honor in, not these days, but, But anyway, the Hammerstein Ballroom in New York City. I was not there for it. Should have been. But anyway, as always, our commentary team of Ian, Ricka Boring, and the Pasta. Caprice Coleman. And if I don't do this, he gets really mad at me. So, Happy New Year, Caprice! And you too, Ricka Boring. Alright, so this is the third Ring of Honor show in the last 7 days. That's a lot. So, I think I did both of them. Check out my playlist, and I should have both Ring of Honor shows from the last week or two. So we got that. Alright, so the feature match, which is coming up right now, after the opening sequence, with the swirl. We got Blake Christian and Lee Johnson, who got destroyed the day before by Brody King. Alright, but this was taped in advance. So, anyway. So, they take on the Ring of Honor champion, Bandido Ese Pero. Bang. And former TV champion and former multiple-time Ring of Honor World Champion, the Black Machismo. Ooh, yeah. That's Jay Lethal. That was a pretty good match for 5 minutes. Blake Christian's 450 gets a near fall as we get near the end of the match on Bandido. Jay Lethal adds lethal injection. Then we get a top rope stomp Death Valley driver combo. Hits Bandido. And then we get a triple team. Which draws a disqualification. I don't know how that get a triple team, but okay. Or maybe a double team. So I guess a DQ. Match was meh. 2.5 out of 5 stars. And then after the match, Jay Lethal takes off Bandido's mask as Tommy Billington, the Dynamite Kid Jr., and the ever so popular Adam Priest run in for the save. So it looks like Jay Lethal has turned to the dark side again. I haven't seen heel Jay Lethal since the early days of AEW / Ring of Honor when Tony Khan bought it. Well, at least you guys get something for him to do. So he takes off Bandido's mask, so we kind of see what Bandido looks like. I think we all know what he looks like. If you don't, look it up on Google. Just Google it. Alright, so we got that. So probably a 6-minute tag team match next week on the program. And I think Bandido is a pissed off hombre, ese pero. So we got that. Moving on. Alright, match number 2. Brian Keith, the Bad Apple, takes on Serpentico of the Spanish Announce Project. Another kind of boring match, 6.5 minutes. Pretty much back and forth to get a running downward spiral by Serpentico for a near fall. Brian Keith comes back with a big-time lariato for another near fall. Serpentico comes right back with a super kick to the floor. Then he flippy-dippity-doo. They go back in. Brian Keith knees him in the face. Ow. And then Tiger Driver, I don't know what number. 91, 95, who knows. But Tiger Driver by Brian Keith, the Bad Apple. 1, 2, 3 gets the win in a boring as fuck match. They gave 2.25 out of 5 stars. So, not great, eh? But we get a little bit better. Alright, after that, match number 3, we have tag team action from the ladies. We had my girl Billy Starks teaming up with the now recently engaged Diamante. S-A-L-A-X. She got engaged to Kiera Hogan, that ass, over on New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve, I believe. So congrats to her and Kiera Hogan on their impending marriage. So they take on Deonna Purrazzo, the Ring of Honor Women's Pure Champion, teaming up with former TNA Knockouts Champion multiple times. That's Madison Rayne in her, I guess, her final farewell, because she's going to be pretty much retiring pretty soon. And we get that. This match was actually pretty damn decent. So the villains gets a stomp Madison Rayne down in the corner even more. But Madison kicks Billy Starks away. Diamante sneaks around the ring to pull Deonna Purrazzo off the apron, and then the beatings continue. Madison Rayne manages to send Billy Starks face first into the turnbuckle a few times. Ow. And then we get the tag to Deonna Purrazzo. Everything starts breaking down. Madison Rayne gives Billy Starks a Canadian Destroyer. Ow. Then a kick to head. Drops Madison Rayne. Excuse me. And a double kick leads Deonna Purrazzo and Diamante down. And then Madison Rayne and Billy Starks come back in. I don't know. I guess there was some tags. With an assisted sliced bread, taking Madison Rayne down, and then Billy adds a Swanton Bomb, 1, 2, 3, in just a little over 10.5 minutes. Billy Starks and Diamante get the win, and a pretty good match, 3 out of 5 stars. And we'll see what happens with that. And it seems like Billy might be going after Deonna Purrazzo and that Pure title. We'll see what happens with that. Moving on. Alright, then it's back to the Tony Khan specials. We got Lance Archer, everybody dies! He takes on some guy named Steve Gibkey. Who? Who are you? What do you do here? Well, you pretty much job as Lance Archer hits the blackout and gets the win in 2.5 minutes. So, thanks for coming. Here's your $50. Get out of here. That's all Lance Archer is good for, to get squash matches on Ring of Honor TV. Go figure. That's that. Alright, moving on. I gave the match a dud because it was just a boring as fuck match. Moving on. Alright, now you look at Lee Moriarty retaining the Pure Rules Championship last week against Commander. That was a good match. So, speaking of Commander, he teams up with Top Flight, Darius and Dante Martin, to take on the 6-man tag team champion, Shane Taylor Promotions. That's Lee Moriarty, the big man, Shane Taylor, and Gully Bravo of one half of the Infantry. Well, the other half of the Infantry, I should say. Non-title match, and it lasted under 6.5 minutes. We're getting to the end, and got a basic chin lock goes on for a little bit. The Infantry getting to stomp away at, one, I think was, Darius Martin. Oh, no, Commander, excuse me. So that happens. And then Commander fights up, manages a rather spinning crucifix. That was pretty nice for a near fall. Lee Moriarty. Get the hot tag to Dante as the pace picks up. But a hard clothesline takes Dante down, only for him to come right back with a Blue Thunder Bomb, and you're not Sami Zayn, so you get 2. And then it breaks down again, and we get a double DDT by Top Flight on Gully Bravo, and they get the pin and the win, and that's pretty much it. So I gave the match 2.5 out of 5 stars, and that's pretty much it. Alright, then we go to the back. Deonna Purrazzo and Madison Rayne are in the back. Madison says, I'm retiring from the ring. I lost my father earlier this year. Sorry to hear that, Madison. My condolences go out to you. And pretty much has lost a piece of her and everything. And she this is a perfect way to end my career. And she thanks Deonna for being her partner, and then she starts crying like a little bitch. So sad to see Madison Rayne retiring from the in-ring competition. I think she'll be doing some coaching in the back and stuff like that. And we move on. Alright. We are live from Buffalo, New York, and it is fucking snowing like crazy. You can't tell it's been snowing there. But we're in Buffalo, New York, at some arena. And we're going to start with a recap of Drew McIntyre, Papucho, kinda, sorta, apologized to the referee Dan Angle for what he did, the whole thing with Cody, they can't touch Cody, and then he pays the fine to Nick Aldis, and then basically challenges Cody to a 3 Stages of Hell match at Bash in Berlin, January the 9th, which is next week. And then, he apologizes to Dan, the referee, and kind of mocks him too. And then Cody comes out and says all this shit. Basically, and Papucho's daring Cody to hit him so he can get stripped of the title. But Cody doesn't budge. And then eventually, Drew Claymore kicks Cody down to beat his ass. So we'll see what happens with that. And we move on. Alright, back to Ring of Honor we go. We got Hichisaro Esse taking on Aaron Solo Mibuki. And I go, this is going to be a squash. And actually, it wasn't. Lasted under 7 minutes. And Aaron Solo got a few moves in, not much. He hits Hichisaro with some kicks to the titties, the chest. Basically wakes Hichisaro up. And then he hammers away at Aaron Solo in the corner. Then a flapjack sets up a spinning arm trap, roll up, to pin Aaron Solo in under 7 minutes. Match wasn't that bad, and I gave it 3 out of 5 stars, and that's pretty much it. Alright, then it's time for some fun. We got MXM TV, Mason Mansour, teaming up with Johnny TV, along with Taya Valkyrie at ringside. They take on the Peacock, Dalton Castle, and my favorite tag team in AEW and Ring of Honor, that's the Outrunners. I haven't done this in a while. Truth Magnum and Turbo Floyd. A fight without honor match, which is a anything goes match. So this was crazy as shit. They bring out ladders. Turbo Floyd goes back to like NWA ECW times with the Terry Funk ladder spin. Did you like that, Terry? I thought it was pretty nice, but he wasn't a hardcore legend in Japan. Japan, #1, forever, not ever, not ever. Okay, Terry, thank you. We know. So that was pretty nice. And then Johnny TV gets up, grabs a pie. Was it cream pie? I don't know. It's Taya Valkyrie, who was in full Grinch attire. Not even Christmas yet. Alright, so we get the recap. We see Cody arriving to the ring, arriving to the arena. Lexi and Charlotte arrive. Rio, Mommy Rhea Ripley, and my third racing hot Asian wife, Io Sky. They're going to be an 8-woman tag team match. We got Lash Legend and Nia Jax teaming up with my first and second racing hot Asian wives, Kyrie and Asuka. Looking great. Oh, you. Settle down. Settle down. Settle down. Dick's about to explode. Sorry. Alright, so we're going to take on Charlotte, Lexi, and Mommy Rhea Ripley and Io. Then we got that ambulance match between Aleister Black coming in with his hot wife, Miss Zelina Vega. And they're taking on Poppy Priest. That's going to be brutal. It'll probably be the main event. Alright, so I guess we're live. And we kind of see inside the, well, of course, a little bit inside the ambulance, which is parked at, by the entranceway. And as we all know, the object of an ambulance match is to incapacitate your opponent enough to put him in the ambulance, close both doors, smack the back of the door, and your opponent goes to the hospital, pretty much. So we get that. Alright, so we have Michael Cole and Cody's Slave. I thought they were going to change that, but I guess not. And then The Miz. The Miz is here to interrupt. Impromptu, pissed off Miz promo. Like I give 2 fucks about The Miz. So we get that. Alright, let's go back to Ring of Honor real quick and then we'll not listen to The Miz. Excuse me. Alright, so we got the Terry Funk spin, and then a pie to the face of Taya Valkyrie, not the first time she's got that. And then a German suplex from Dalton Castle, who walks right into a spine buster. And then we get some Legos, with Dion Manon and the Outrunners fighting over a suplex onto them. Instead, Dion is sent bare feet first into the Legos. Ow! And I think there's a present over his head. Even worse. And then some tables are brought in, with another being set up on the floor. So it's table time. Outrunners are laid on the tables with Monsieur and Johnny TV going up, only for Dalton Castle to throw the ornament at them. Don't know what ornament it was, but in any case. And then we get a double crotching on the top rope. Johnny TV then gets sent through the table at ringside, and it broke. And a double superplex sends Monsieur onto the table and Legos, onto and through the table with Legos on it. 1, 2, 3. The Outrunners and Dalton Castle get the win in under 12 minutes. This match was barbaric, and I gave it 3.25 out of 5 stars. And that's it. And that ends Ring of Honor TV. And Ring of Honor TV wasn't that bad for the first show of 2026. And we'll see what happens this Thursday night on the program. Same thing with the final episode on Access TV for TNA. And that's pretty much it. Alright guys, so 6.5 out of 10 stars for both Ring of Honor and Impact last night. So let me know what your thoughts are down below in the comments section. And don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell, like the video, and all that other good shit. That's it. Alright guys, I will be back later tonight with your New Japan Pro Wrestling Wrestle Kingdom review on episode 100 of the Shadow Slayers 2.0 series. So get that out of the way. And then tomorrow afternoon, we will talk about SmackDown. And then get you ready for the Niners and the Seacocks at 8 p.m. And after that, we'll do a post-game show. And then we'll take a little power nap. And then get up about 2 o'clock, 2:30 in the morning on tomorrow night to watch Wrestle Kingdom 20, the big one, the first pay-per-view of the year, and pretty much the epic pay-per-view of the year that it is. Because every year we start with Wrestle Kingdom, which pretty much tells every other promotion to top that. And I think Wrestle Kingdom is going to be great. Okada and Tanahashi for the final time is going to be epic. Andrade is going to be there in a match. Some great matches. I think we got a women's title match. That's going to be epic. But we'll talk about that later. But right now, I'm going to go watch the rest of SmackDown. And Miz is still talking up the wazoo about probably Carmelo Hayes. And I don't know what. I don't give 2 fucks. And that's it. Alright guys, so I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. Until next time. Peace.